Stream. Hello, we are starting stream. I'm attempting to start stream. Alright, I think I'm successfully started, but we're gonna do the audio check because, that's how we do things. And I think I already see some people in chat. Hi, people in chat. Hi. Welcome. Well, blah, blah, blah. I can't talk English good. Welcome in, Chan the Magic Man and Charlie's Beats. Hello, how's it going today? Hopefully, you guys are doing well. I am a little bit late because I was thinking to myself, Charlie, thank you so much for the resub. Greatly appreciate it. Barney of the Rubble. Yay, guitar time. This is not quite guitar time. Okay, but anyway. Let's see. Chan the Magic Man, thank you so much for the hype train. Wait a second! We're starting hype train right now? Alright, hold on. I was not prepared for this. Okay. Hey, I have to pull out a deck of cards. Let's pull out a deck of cards. Here we go. I have no idea what I'm going to do. Well, I guess I just default to the usual. We all just time traveled here in the United States. For anybody who observes time travel. So, let's go ahead and just pick a card. Doesn't matter what. You know what? Let's choose the Queen of Clubs because Chan the Magic Man is magical and okay. So here's the thing. I just want you to remember that Chan the Magic Man is on top of the deck. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and remember this moment because look, I'm gonna go ahead and place Chan the Magic Man here in the middle of the deck, and then we're gonna go ahead and time travel back. I don't know if you guys know, but look, we are now back just a moment ago. Not a moment, but like a few seconds ago. Because look, Chan the Magic Man has now come back up to the top. Now here's the thing. For a lot of you who are not in the United States, we observe something called Daylight Savings Time, and then when it ends. So, the thing is, we experience time travel twice a year. I'm going to give you the digest really quick. It's going to happen a lot. Throughout the year, we're not going to realize, hey, that anything is happening. But, and then we're going to time travel. We're just going to time travel back just to a second ago when Chan the Magic Man was right on top of the deck. I know, it's really weird, right? And the thing is, the times in which it happens, it doesn't happen like, at the beginning of the year or the end of the year. Because look, if you try and figure out when it's going to happen, a lot of people would suspect that, let's say it might happen sometime in the middle of the year, and then you have to look deeper in the middle of the year, and you might look at the beginning of the year and not see that there's any time travel, and you might see, oh wait, I've just hey guys, how's it going? Alright, we're gonna go ahead and do a different trick. I'm so not ready. Yeah, I don't even have the wax on my fingers yet. Alright, let's find all the fours. Man, that was not a great way. I was trying to do hype train and stuff and then tell a new story and then trying to do time travel stuff, and that's totally not what's gonna happen. Alright, okay. Yeah, Barney of the Rubble's like, lol, Chan is like, sus. Chan, you know what's going on, right? Okay, so, here, what I want to do is tell the story of time traveling. Look, so I want you to remember that all of these fours are face up right now, and this is the moment that we're going to come back to. Okay, but when I turn them all face down, they will all be turned face down, but they somehow remember that they were face up just a second ago. But I don't want to have them be, yeah, pretty sus, says Barney. Look, I'm going to hold the packet and give it a twist. This twist is going to send one of the fours back in time to a moment when it remembered it was face up. It's the Four of Hearts. So now I'm going to go ahead and give it another twist. The Four of Hearts will be sent back to regular time, but now the Four of Clubs is somehow going to remember when it was face up just a second ago. Okay, there we go. Alright, so here's the thing. I'm going to give this another magical twist, and the Four of Diamonds will remember what it was like to be face up just a second ago. Not a second, but now at this point it's probably like 20 seconds, 30 seconds? But we have one more, but this one has a very bad memory. I think it's the 4 of spades. Even if I give it a magical twist, it doesn't go back that far in time because, look, it doesn't remember that it's face up. Even if I give it 2 more magical twists, it should send it further back in time. But now that we've elapsed like an entire, like, almost a minute, I'm just gonna have to send it back a few more, and then hopefully that was enough for it to now remember that it was face up that far ago. Okay, alright. Let's go ahead and do a different one. Okay, let's pretend that the 4 of spades is our selection. I'm gonna go find the 2 jokers right here. So these 2 jokers are going to be directly next to each other in the deck. Okay? And we're going to place the 4 of spades, not quite in between the 2 jokers, but here we have the 2 jokers. Now, there's no possible way that in a second, if I said, hey, the 4 of spades should jump in between the 2 jokers, right? Well, 1, 2, 3. I don't know if you guys realize, but we have more emotes! Okay, well, thank you, Andrew War, for the resub. Man, I severely botched, like, almost all of that. But anyway, thank you so much for the resub, Charlie's Beats, for the 21 months. Charlie's Beats, thank you so much. Guys, if you are not familiar, for people who sub here, you guys get a chance to sign a card. And so here we have Charlie's Beats, the signer of the Ace of Spades. Chan the Magic Man, thank you so much for the resub for the 13 months. Chan the Magic Man is the Queen of Clubs. Here, Chan the Magic Man. And then also, thank you so much for the resub, Andrew War. Andrew War is the 2 of diamonds. Right here, Andrew War. Alright, okay. So, yeah, FYI, that hype train happened, but Chan is a dancing man. Chan is a dancing man, guys. If you didn't know, Chan is a dancing man. Yeah, I haven't even put on my cheating gloves yet. That's probably why I messed up so much, because my cheating gloves, even though, to be fair, one of them was not my fault. I mean, it was my fault, but it was due to the fault of, I think if I had this, it wouldn't have saved me in that situation. But the other one, I don't know, maybe, we'll see. Anyway, let me put on the cheating gloves before we do any more trickery. Hey, E-Room, how's it going? Welcome in. Thank you kindly for the bang, E-Room. Oh my god. Chat, have we got an excuse counter? We do not. Although I think hopefully any of the mods who want to create anything, they are free to do so in good faith. In good faith, mods, I'm watching you. Hello Thorn, welcome in. How's it going, Hello Thorn? Alright. You know, this is probably a good time for, while I'm doing cheating gloves, let's give everybody a shout out. So, guys, if you're not following our friend and fellow magician Hallowthorn, please give Ben Hallowthorn a follow. Hallowthorn, a Singaporean magician, hasn't streamed as much lately, but is a fully gigging magician and has a kid. And yeah, so please give our friend Ben Hallowthorn a follow. Guys, if you're not following our friend E-Room Kim, please give E-Room a follow. Guys, E-Room, also known as the Pope of Indiana, randomly streams all sorts of things, in real life, opening things on his couch, community games. Definitely give our friend E-Room a follow. And E-Room, I don't know if you noticed, but you have a new badge next to your name, so thank you so much for being a part of the community and hanging out and requesting tricks. And you know what? Banging me all the time. So thank you so much, E-Room. Alright. Okay. Alright, let's see. Guys, if you're not following our friend and mod, Chan the Magic Man, please give Chan the Magic Man a follow. You know, what am I doing? I should also be over. Give Chan the Magic Man a follow. Chan is another fellow Twitch magician. that has a regular magic schedule, and Chan does magic on Monday night, so please give Chan a follow for Magic Mondays. So, that sounded wrong, said Chan. Yeah, I know. That was the intent, Chan. I mean, E-Room. I mean, you guys. Alright, let's see. Who else? Guys, you're not following our friend Charlie's Beats. Charlie's Beats has been known to stream in the past, whether it was music, VGM, or other things, video games. I said VGM, but I meant video games because I said music, but VGM is implied in music. But now I like to refer to Charlie's Beats as a music Twitch famous chatter because he's basically in every chat that I would hang out in. That's a music chat, music stream here on Twitch. So, but anyway, yeah. So there we are. All right, cool. I didn't even. Let me see here. Okay. Jeez. Okay. So. Command add excuses has made excuses 1,000 times. There you go, Chen. That's the add command. Man, Barney's giving commands already. All right. Well, thank you kindly for the doing all the work, I guess. All right. I may tweak the wording on that later, but all right. Anyway, so I severely botched a bunch of tricks there. So let's go ahead and start. We're gonna start over. So the only trick I think I actually nailed was actually we didn't even open up. Let's do this. You can't remove the word 1,000. You know, that was the one I was going to remove, Barney of the Rubble. That was the one. All right, let's see. That's all right. I mean, whatever it gets in for today, it'll be in there for today. I'll tweak it off stream. I'm not going to tweak things on stream. All right, okay. So, let me see here. Excuses. All right, so we're going to do that. And then the one I want, and then we're going to do Magician. Because... Okay. Wait, exclamation point command. Oh, wait, is that the... No, that might be a different... Is that Streamlabs or something? I use Stream Elements. So I don't know if that is the correct one. So... Alright, anyway. Okay, let's revisit the first trick again, because I should not have botched that, and I feel really bad. But, you know, Hype Train, Cheating Fingers. Alright, here we go. So here we have Chan the Magic Man. Chan the Magic Man is our selection. And Chan the Magic Man lives in the United States. I know this because he has told me he lives in the United States. In an area in which we observe daylight savings time. For those of you who are outside of the United States, you may not be aware of how daylight saving times works, but 2 times a year we change our clocks. In the fall, we change our clocks to be 1 hour backward, so when we do that, we will gain an hour. That's what we just experienced last night. And then at one point later in the spring, or I guess early in the spring, we will change our clocks forward. We will lose an hour, but that's what we do for some strange reason. I think everybody agrees that we shouldn't do it anymore, changing the clocks. But nobody can agree on which time to stay at, because, anyway, that's a long story. But anyway, so here we have Chan the Magic Man. Chan the Magic Man is going to be doing some time traveling. So here we find Chan in the middle of the day, but as it turns out, once we're going to have Chan time travel back to just a couple seconds ago when Chan was on top of the deck. And if I show you, here's Chan back on top of the deck. Let's see. Barney of the Rubble says, "So you're a loser in spring." Got it. I mean, yes. Every American who celebrates or observes, I guess we don't celebrate it, daylight savings time will lose an hour in the spring. So we all lose in the spring. Yeah, correct. Alstro Art, welcome in. All right, so here we go. Chan is going to progress through the day once again. And importantly, we don't see Chan on the top anymore because he is no longer on the top. But if we just have Chan time travel back just a few seconds ago, he's going to remember that he was back on top of the deck because here Chan is. Now, Chan knows a bunch of magic, so he's aware of how to use time travel in tricks, right? And so Alstro Art says, I anti-celebrated daylight savings in both directions. Yeah, absolutely. So here we have Chan. We're going to go ahead and lose Chan in the packet here, and we'll have Chan get lost in this packet. Sometimes we look at the beginning of the day, sometimes we look at the end of the day, but Chan is lost somewhere in there. However, we know that if we look back on top, we just have to have Chan time travel back to a few seconds ago when he remembered that he was actually at the top of the deck. All right, and that, my friends, is a better version of what I tried to do during the hype train. Sorry, I messed up. But those of you who are paying attention may understand how one portion of that gets done. Barney asks, how come you forgot where you were, Chan the Magic Man? All right. Yes, so I don't know. When I gain an hour, I like gaining an hour, so I do celebrate it. But unfortunately, last night I spent my hour. I had to do it, so I was going to spend it regardless, but I was like, So I basically felt like I spent my hour figuring out who I was going to vote for. So, I mean, like I knew who I was going to vote for federal president, but for everything else, I'm just like, I don't really hang out in politics circles or talk about it throughout the year, so I'm like, let me research my local candidates. And it's like, all right, I've heard this name before. Oh, this guy served, last year. So, I vote for it. None of the above, says E-Room. I mean, I have the right to vote. I'm going to use it. And honestly, I live in a state in which for the federal, it doesn't matter too much. But I think a lot of, potentially my local, some of them have tended to be close in the past. So, like, for like town judge or town clerk or something, like those things probably matter a lot more because it will directly affect me. Alstro Art says, I voted last week. Early voting. I probably could have voted early if I knew who I was going to vote for, but the earliest I can vote is tomorrow because I didn't know who I was going to vote for every other office. Gibson Lens said, I voted long ago. Gibson Lens, local candidates are tough here. Very little info. Yeah, I am like trying to use Google Foo to try and figure out like. So I'm like, it's. So there's a couple of decent resources, but it's like, all right, well, who has? And surprisingly, a lot of the politicians around here have a Facebook. So they have a website and a Facebook, but then like everything else, I saw like 2 candidates last night have like a TikTok, and I'm like, I don't have a TikTok. And it's like, but. And then like a couple of them have YouTube channels, and I'm like, oh well, that's cool. And then I log on, I look at their channel, and it's only like, 5 campaign videos that are like 30 seconds long, and I'm like, oh, that's the only reason why your YouTube channel exists. Okay. Except for one. So there's this one person in one of the things that was trying to be elected, and I watched some of her videos, and she's very anti-war, and I understand that she's very anti-war, but like everything else, even some like one of the videos that she had in her YouTube channel had like thousands of subscribers, like even more than me, and I'm basically a nobody. But I was like, why does this person, and she, there was a video that was being shown that she was like the candidate was being taken away by the police. I'm just like, why? It just makes her seem crazy. All right. Barney of the Rubble says, IMO, if you don't vote, then you can't complain about who wins. Yeah, I mean, that's also partially the thing, too, but, like, I mean, at this point, I'm not going to complain about who wins, but down the road, I don't want to be in a situation where it's like, I want to complain about politicians, but then, like, somebody looks at my voting record and said, you never voted! And, like, that's maybe more important. Alstro Art says, crazy or crazy? Yeah, crazy. All right. Guys, if you've been sitting around for a while and you haven't hydrated in a bit, please hydrate. Today, I'm having some herbal tea. It is candy cane flavored, so it's a little bit minty. Reminds me of the holidays. That kind of thing. So, all right. Let's see here. I haven't even opened up my song list. Sorry, trick list yet. Oh, but I think Gibson Lens, I responded to you, but I didn't say hi yet. So, hi Gibson Lens, how's it going? And also, guys, if you're not following our friend and mod Gibson Lens, please give Gibson Lens a follow. Acclaimed pianist, plays piano, VGM, popular music, esoteric music, sight reads from songbooks that he owns. Also has composed a bunch of his own originals. So please give Gibson Lens a follow. And also lately in chat we've been doing movie reviews because Gibson Lens has been watching old or classic movies, and we've been reviewing, or he's been reviewing them, and we've just been guessing whether he likes them or not. So I think we're having fun. I'm having fun. All right. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah. So the magician's choice that I'm going to do is is the thing that I tried to do the third trick during the hype train, but I completely messed it up. But it's not on the trick list, so we're gonna attempt to perform that. All right. So first things first. Let me pull out the jokers, and then yeah. Yep, 3 more movie reviews on Monday. Nice. Sweet. I can't wait. So there was a while where I wasn't getting many right in Gibson Lens's stream, but then like the last few times I've been pretty good. I think I only missed one in the last like two sessions, I think. Oh no, 3 sessions? No, yeah, because there was that one where you got like 6 in one day, and I was like, I got them all that day, I think. So. Admittedly, I'm not keeping score, but now in retrospect, I kind of regret not keeping score. All right, here we go. All right, so first things first, we need a selection, and actually, I did a trick with, Chandler Magic Man already. We should do a trick with Charlie's Beats. So, all right, so let's pretend that the selection is the Charlie's Beats Ace of Spades. Now, importantly, I'm going to place the 2 jokers directly next to each other right here, but not really too close to the Ace of Spades. All right, so that's what we're doing. Now, importantly, if I spread through the deck, you'll see that the Ace of Spades is right there, and then you'll see that the 2 jokers are right here, and then the rest of the deck. Okay. Now, here's what I want to do. Would you not be impressed if I just did 1, 2, 3, and then I could make the Ace of Spades 1, 2, 3 jump in between the 2 jokers. Now, I know that didn't look that great, but to be fair, this part of the trick is a joke because it's not really a trick. I don't know if you could tell, but look, see, chance at, sus eyes, that's right. No, look, this part's a joke. I told you, would you not be impressed if the Ace of Spades jumped in between the 2 jokers? But look. If you take a look at the top card, it's one of the jokers, and the bottom card, it's another joker. So inherently, every single card has jumped in between the 2 jokers, right? And so, including the Ace of Spades. Ta-da! See, look, Ace of Spades, 2 jokers. See, that whole part was a joke. Easy peasy. All right, so that is absolutely not right. Got him. That's right, exactly. But no, that's not actually impressive, right? So that's not really magic either. But like, so here's the Ace of Spades. And we have our 2 jokers on the top and on the bottom. And So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and just do 1, 2, and 3, and this should look a little bit better because if you can tell, the Joker is not on the top or the bottom. But now if I spread through the deck, you'll see that we just walk along the deck here. Look, every time I do this with my kid, I use my 2 fingers as the itsy bitsy spider. So the itsy bitsy spider climbed along the cards, and look, he found some jokers with Charlie's ace of spades in between them. Out came the sock, and it dried up all my tears of happiness. And the itsy bitsy spider could do magic again tomorrow. I have no idea where I was going with this. But that's effectively what I would sing for my kid. I would just basically sing whatever. So there we are. Deck Sock has made an appearance. So that trick is called Smiling Mule, and if you want to see that probably done more properly, it is available on my YouTube. But there's actually another version that I do, I think. Let me just quickly set back up. So look, we have the ace of... Wait, where'd the ace of spades go? I don't even know where it went. Ace of spades! Ace of spades, where are you? Here, ace of spades. 2 jokers. 2 jokers. Alright, here we go. We're going to do the gag thing first. Gag thing. Alstro Art says, I remember there was a magic blog called Smiling Mule, but I can't find it anymore. Oh, okay. Well, that's the name of this trick. So, and then look, the itsy bitsy spider wants to find the jokers again. Oh, wait, the joker is on the top and the bottom. All right, so there's that. And then the last version of this trick you guys saw, and once again, the ace of spades is still in here. It's not like it's missing or something, right? So, but the last version, we had the ace of spades in between the 2 jokers face up in the same direction, right? And so here what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and invert it. I don't know if you could see that something happened, but once again, if I spread, now if we take a look, this is a slightly different version, and this is the one that I did, I think, on my channel. It is now the 2 jokers are face up, but the selection, the ace of spades, is face down. All right, there we go. And that is Smiling Mule, off menu. Mostly redemption for Hype Train. So, yeah. Yes, right. Yeah, TOP needs some work. Yep. Okay. Yeah, the blog was named after the trick. Oh, okay. That makes perfect sense. Yep. But overall, good trick. Yeah. All right. Awesome. Nice one. Okay, let's see. What is up next? We have a request from Barney of the Rubble for inverted card trick. Let's see. And then the other, let's see. We have not done a trick yet with Andrew War, who is the 3rd resub. By the way, thank you, Chan the Magic Man, Charlie's Beats, and Andrew War for the resubs. I'm trying to figure out how I did this. So I'm trying to do the impressive version of this. Okay, alright. Okay, and I think I remember now. Hang on tight. I'm trying to remember. how this part is done. Okay, alright. Okay, alright, here we... Here we go. Alright, I have to reset, hang on. Okay, here we go. So, first things first, I would have a selection selected, but we're going to be using a very particular card. And that particular card will be a secret to all of you guys. But not to me, because I know what it is. I'm just kidding. It won't be very impressive if I don't show you guys what it is. So here it is. It's Andrew Wars signed 2 of diamonds. And so here, 2 of diamonds. And what I want to do is we're going to go ahead and place this into the deck. Okay, so here we go. Ready? I'm going to go ahead and place this somewhere into the middle of the deck like so. And now what we want to do is we want to see if we can find a way to make it flip over. And I don't know if you could tell, but now the deck has flipped over around the card. Because look, if I show you, if we spread, there is one card that is facing in the opposite direction. And now you're probably wondering what that card is. You're probably not, because I showed you what it is and I told you what was going to happen. Now, at this point, I'm going to show you that this is the 2 of diamonds. Signed by our friend Andrew War. Thanks for the support, Andrew. However, what you may not realize is that you may know how this part of the trick is done. And this next part of the trick is meant to fool everybody else. But if this is one of the tricks that I did as a child on the playground. Chris M.Ye, welcome in. How's it going? Thank you so much for the random request. So here's what we're going to do. This time we're going to go ahead and place the face down for the 2 of diamonds. Why did I say 4? I don't know. Face down into the face down deck. And some people believe that it might still be on the top of the deck, but nope. Let me just show you that that's not it. And then also, let me just show you that it's also not here. And so it is indeed, actually, if I just flip the entire deck, you'll be able to just, here, you won't be able to see it because hopefully I'm scrolling through quickly, but all I have to do is just give it a second. And now the entire deck has flipped over and around the 2 of diamonds. See, take a look. Is that weird? That's super weird, right? And now if I flip this over, there we have it. Andrew Wars 2 of diamonds. And that, my friends, is my handling performance of a version of the inverted card trick. There we have it. Okay, I kind of feel redeemed from the from the botch type train tricks now. I feel slightly better now. Anyway, welcome in, Chris M.Ye. How's it going? Thank you for the shout out for our friend Chris M.Ye. Guys, if you're not following our friend Chris M.Ye, Variety Gamer, also is the host of the Clip M.Ye show when it happens. Not that that was a jab at anything. Don't cancel me, Chris. Yeah. Chris, how are you doing? Thank you kindly for the claps. Chris M.Ye, Alstro Art, Charlie's Beats, E-Room, Gibson Lens. And let's see. Oh, somebody has already asked Chris how he's. I'm doing well. How are you? Says Chris. Oh, no, that was in response to what I said. That's right. It's okay. I deserve it. Haha. No, it's okay. Yeah, so I feel like I should be better than I am because we got an extra hour of sleep here in the United States, but like I'm kind of just feeling out of it. I guess conceptually it is an hour later than it would have been. But um yeah, so right before stream I was trying to learn a new trick and I devised a new trick and I'm like, "Oh, this is going to be so cool." I could not execute it very well. I guess my excuse is that it was not a card trick. It was actually um I would call it probably a coin trick. So all right, let's see here. So anyway, how has everybody been? How did anybody in the United States, how did you spend your extra hour? Because those of us who are here got an extra hour. I already told everybody that I spent it doing research on who I'm going to vote for. Did you actually sleep during the extra hour, says Chris M. No, I basically did not. I spent it doing political things, and I never do political things. So extra hours spent working with Legos. Oh, E-room. That sounds like an excellent expenditure of your hour. Peekaboo Draws, welcome in. How's it going? Peekaboo Draws spent it sleeping. That's a good deal. Chris M. says same. I woke up at the same time. I gotcha. Yeah, guys, if you're not following our friend Peekaboo Draws, please give Peekaboo Draws a follow. Peekaboo Draws is an artist. Actually, I was able to properly stop into Peekaboo Draws stream the other night, so just chatting while watching some sketching. So it was good because I was doing a bunch of cleaning and I was going through. So I bought an optical drive to basically go through all of my old CDRs that I had stored a bunch of data on, and I'm going through this entire stack. Actually, here's the empty stack. This was filled with CDRs, and it was filled with anime. So basically trying to offload any anime episodes that I had saved to CDRs onto a drive. So, all right, yeah. I missed it. Hope I didn't put you to sleep. Oh no, I did not get put to sleep. I was busy transferring data from CDRs to a drive. Uh, wow. Oh yeah, let me. Okay. All right. Next up is a request from Chan the Magic Man for 3 travelers. So I've done a couple of new tricks that is based off of 3 travelers. Chan, would you like to see classic 3 travelers, or would you like to see one of the newer variations? Actually, the only one I remember how to do is Elevon, because the other one's more complicated. So, actually, no, wait, that's not published yet. You guys have never seen that yet. I haven't done it. Okay. Time travel did allow me to be on time for Jer Rook stream. Oh, so it's Gibson Lens. Awesome. Chan, I'll let you know before next time. New. Okay, okay. All right. Let's do the new one. Okay. All right. Okay. So this one is going to be a slightly different variation of 3 travelers. But here I've set aside 3 cards. These 3 cards are 3 of clubs, the 2 of clubs, and the ace of clubs. Now, what I want to do with these, let me go ahead and just place them. See, I'm like botching things all over the place. I just dropped a card. All right. So here's the 3. Here's the 2. And then here's the ace. Now, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and place the deck on top of the ace. But now if I press the elevator button, that's going to make the ace go from the bottom all the way up to the top, because look. Here's the ace. Now, let's take the 2, place it on the top, but we're going to press the down elevator button. And that's going to make the 2 go all the way down to the bottom. I know that's strange, right? Now, here's what we have for the 3. What we're going to do here with the 3 is that we're going to go ahead and lose it into the middle of the deck, like this. Okay. Importantly, it's not on the top, right? Some people think I might hide it on the bottom. But I'm going to use the ace and the 2 to try and help me bring it back up to the top. I just realized I did not do this part correctly. So I think it was this one. Magician's fingers are very good. I'm going to leave it sticking out from the back because that's what we're going to do. However, here's where you'll see that this trick is a little bit different. I'm going to go ahead and push it in from the back. And as I push it into the back, you're going to see it move up into between the ace and the 2. I know, is that strange? That's super strange, right? And a lot of people are probably wondering, is this actually the three of clubs? Yeah, it is. It is. There it is. I mean, how would you know? It's not signed. It could be a duplicate 3 of clubs. But anyway, yeah, so that is a slightly botched version of Elevon, but since Elevon's not really on my trick list, I'm okay with how I handled it. So, alright. Actually, if you guys are okay with that, I would like to just do that again. So 3, 2, and ace. And we're just going to try and get a clean run of it, okay? So here we go. You guys get to see a second trick again. So here's a 3. Here's encore, that's right. Here's a 2. And then here's the ace. Now I'm going to go ahead and drop the ace onto the bottom of the deck. Press the elevator button. That ace will jump all the way back up to the top. Here we go. Now I'm going to take the 2, place it on the top, press the elevator button. That's going to make it go all the way down to the bottom. There it is. And now here we have the 3. Okay, and this is where I messed it up last time. So here's the 3. Instead of directly pushing it in, I'm supposed to place it here into the back of the deck, sticking out, leaving it stuck out. Now I grab the ace and the 2, and we're going to go ahead and use the ace and the 2 to help us out to try and get the 3 from the middle of the deck to come right back up. And once again, I'm going to go ahead and push that card from the back in, and as it goes into the deck, you'll see that it jumps in between the ace and the 2. And at this point, I know that we are going to be a successful performance because here we have the 3 of clubs. There we go. All right. Woo! I'd say the second one was cleaner, but I don't think I technically did anything wrong on the first time. Just presentational mishap. Would have become a boss trick had I not corrected it, I think. Yeah, Gibson Led says, encore! Yes, that's right. Let's see here. Gibson Led says, I'm doing well. I did have a sore throat this weekend, but otherwise didn't feel sick. Okay. Yeah, that sucks to have a sore throat because then it affects you like every time you swallow. So it's like, I want to have a sip of my tasty beverage. My throat hurts. But, I mean, it could be worse, so. Chan says, I've been coughing a little lately. The other day, I may have swallowed a teeny tiny bit of toothpaste while rinsing after brushing my teeth. Oh, I'm sorry. My sympathies. I think so long as you don't get sick from swallowing that in the next day or two, you're probably fine. I think they recommend not swallowing it because of the fluoride in it. So even though it's okay for us to have a little fluoride, but having a lot is not so good. But anyway, I don't think if it's like less than the amount that you would use to brush your teeth, I think they say it's probably fine, nothing to worry about. Disclaimer, I'm not a medical professional. I've had to make this disclaimer more than once on stream, so there we go. I guess I haven't had to, but I felt obligated to. So the visual of the 3 appearing between as it's pushing in the deck is pretty cool. Yeah, as soon as I saw it, I was like, I have to do this trick. And since it was like basically the same, I was like, I basically know how to do the trick. It's just a matter of practicing. Because I'm so used to doing 3 travelers the one way that I normally do 3 travelers. So thank you kindly for the follow, Subray4. Hopefully you stick around and enjoy. Alright, so next up we have a request from eRoom Kim. Thank you so much for the request, eRoom. So let's go ahead and get ready for that. I said the same thing in your video. Yeah, you did. I remember seeing your comment. I think I replied. I'm pretty sure I did. Um, so I think I said the same thing too, actually. All right. So, all right. Next, we're going to need a couple. You know what? E-room. We're gonna have you select a couple of suits. All right. So here I have two piles of 4 cards each. Here we've got 1, 2. Wait. Hold on. Whoa. I just realized I'm doing the wrong trick. I was gonna do a different trick, and this is not the trick that you requested. Ooh. Hold on. Please hold. Uh, you just gave it a heart. Oh no, I just gave it a heart. Alright, well, I would have told you. Oh yeah, when I found this trick, I totally wanted to learn it for that. So, that's what I meant to say. That's what I meant to say, Chan. You saw nothing. That's right. Okay, alright. I'm totally all over the place. I don't even know why. Like, I shouldn't be all over the place. I was a little excited because... Hey! E-Room! E-Room just wanted to bang me, that's all. Thanks for the bang, E-Room. Oh! Chan, the magic man! Chan wanted to get in on the bang action. Thank you kindly for the bangs, gentlemen. I was going to say the bangs, boys, but that also sounded weird in my head. Don't cancel me, Twitch. Actually, I mean, people say way worse things on stream. I feel like I'm not really that. Hey! Oh, Chris M. Yee, thank you so much for the bang. I know, Chris M. Yee just wanted to get in on the action, too. I get it. Oh my, says Peekaboo Draws. Oh my, alright. Okay, alright. So the other one was I had kings. This time I have jacks. Alright, so this trick. Alright, now, here we have four red backed cards, 4 blue backed cards, and they're all jacks. I just want to show you that they are all jacks, and so here's the thing. I've arranged them so that they are in the same order. So here we have clubs, diamonds, spades, and hearts. Alright, E-Room, if you could select a suit, that is the one that we will use to travel between the 2 packets. So go ahead and select a suit, E-Room, if you would like. You can select... Wait, no. That is club. Is that correct? I gotta lean into chat. There we go. Alright, so here we go. We have the club. So I'm going to go ahead and place the club. It will be third from the top when I flip the packet over. Like this. Okay. Clubs. There we go. Excellent. So here is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and flip them over. And now I'm going to go ahead and snap. Now a lot of magicians will use the snap as just for effect. But what I just did, if you could see faster than 30 frames or 24 frames per second, I actually contacted the jack of clubs and then kicked it to the other pile. I know that's really tough to believe, but look, if I show you here in the red backed pile, you're going to see a blue backed card right there. See, and actually if I go ahead and I show you, this blue backed card is the jack of clubs. And over here, if I show you, these are the blue backed cards, except for this one. This one is our red backed card in the blue pile. It's a jack of clubs. Now, let me just go ahead and fix this. Alright, so here. Got it. Okay, so now everything should be correct, right? Yep. Over here. Okay. But now we're going to do it again. I'm going to go ahead and, once again, I'm going to snap using both hands. And if you could see faster than, 24 frames per second, you might be able to see my finger contacting that card, kicking it over the jack of clubs to the other pile. And now, if I show you, look. And over here. And if I show you this card, this blue back card is the jack of clubs amongst the other jacks. And over here, this red back card amongst the blue back cards is the jack of clubs amongst the other jacks. And that, my friends, is Traveling Man with jacks. Thank you kindly for the claps and the applause. E-Room says, nice one. Nice. Bang, bang, bang. Sorry. I wanted to get in on the bang action too, I guess. It's so hard to resist. Let's see here. Gibson, thank you kindly for the claps and the emotes. E-Room Kim, Gibson Lens, Chan the Magic Man, Subray 4. And, alright. And Charlie's Beats is going to keep me honest. Alright, we'll do that after the next request from Chris M. Yee. You're already a father. Am I already a father? I mean, I am, but... hold on, I'm wondering what context under which I'm already a father. I am already a father to a child. I am not a father in any religious contexts. This is in response to you wanting to get in on the banging, ha ha ha. I think if I was more with it today, I would have understood that sooner. And yep. Oh no, I don't know where that deck is, but there's a deck that I could use that would be way more hilarious right now. But all right, so let's find all of the aces because we're gonna need those for the next trick. But anyway, so yeah, I'm still doing a lot of cleaning between this room and my office, and I'm finding a lot of old things. And so if we get a spare moment later, we can look at some old things. It'll be a good time. All right, so first things, Gibson, this is a bad emote. All right, yes, I deserve this spray bottle. That sounded weird. Who asks for the spray bottle? I don't know. Behaviorists. I don't know. Classical conditioning. I don't know. I'm saying random words now. You would think that perhaps I had some alcohol. I'm 100% sober right now. All right, so here we have the Ace of Diamonds, the Ace of Clubs, the Ace of Hearts, and the Ace of Spades. We're going to leave the Ace of Spades over here, and that's going to be our leader ace in this case. And then we're going to go ahead and spread out all of the aces out onto the table over here, like so. And we're going to try and get all of the aces to collect here by the end of the trick. That's the plan anyway, or so I hope. But, alright, so I'm going to go ahead and place 3 cards onto each pile, like so. And let's square up. Alright, first things first, let's go ahead and kick 2 cards to swap the ace from this pile to this pile. Because look, they've just swapped places. Because now if I show you, there's no aces here. But down here, as you can see, we knew that the ace of spades was here because I'd kept it here. And then we have just a couple of other cards. And then look, the ace of hearts has jumped down here. Once again, let's do it with these 2 piles. The hand position matters. That's how I can contact the cards secretly and then kick them in the right pile. Because now if we look, there's no ace in here. Because look. And now if I show you, we have ace of spades, there's a card, and then the ace of hearts, and of course the ace of clubs is the one that just hopped down. And now finally, we have this last pile, and now that ace has jumped down here, so we can see the ace of diamonds, the ace of clubs, the ace of hearts, and the ace of spades. Now, some people believe that there's some shenanigans afoot, and to that I would say, yeah, you're watching Sleight of Hand card magic stream. But look, I'm going to go ahead and grab the ace of spades and place it into this pile. And if you were here, you could place your hand on top of that pile and make sure that there's no possible way I would be able to get any cards moving in between that and this pile. And I'm going to just use my mouse to simulate your hand. And here we have the aces, and I'm going to try and extract it. Now, I can't use my snapping method because your hand would have been in the way. So now all I have to do is, instead, I would tap your hand. One. Actually, maybe I should tap it more caressingly. 1, 2, 3. I don't know if you felt that, but you would have been able to feel it, trust me. I'm seething with I'm seething with love today. No, so here we can see our ace of diamonds, our ace of clubs, and our ace of hearts. But here is our ace of spades. And if you were here, you can now remove your hand. Look at all of the cards that are in here, and you see that there's no aces in here. I mean, it's also, I mean, they're all the aces are signed, so it's really hard not to see how that would work. All right. And that, my friends, I would call a successful performance of Ace Assembly, Bluff Ace Assembly. Thanks for that request, Chris M. Yee. Thank you kindly for the claps and the emotes. Gibson Lens, Chan the Magic Man, E-Room. Okay, alright. Now I must panic a little bit. Because this was a boss trick a couple streams ago. I think I did it successfully last stream, but there is a chance that I can forget how to do it. So we're going to try and do it correctly. Again. That's the hope. That's the dream. Oh, let me see here. E-Room has requested a scandalous shuffle. Shuffle half of large cards with half Uno cards. Group A. Now shuffle the other half large cards with half of Uno cards. Group B. Lastly, shuffle Group A and Group B together. Oh, okay. Alright, for a second I was like, oh no, E-Room's saying things like Group A and Group B. How do I... Is it going to have me do something crazy after? And as it turns out, it's not as crazy as I thought, but it is... It might actually be difficult because they're a different size, but alright, let's, well, I've already prepared for the impulse card trick, so we'll do, actually, so I don't forget, I'm going to go ahead and put in, scandalous shuffle, so I don't forget into the queue. Alright. Okay, let's see. Next we have these and then that. Okay, alright. Let's hope this is the right setup. I'm not going to reference anything because I think I got it. But famous last words. Alright, here we go. We have 4 2s and 4 jacks. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to be doing something interesting here. Let me introduce you to the 2s. We have the 2 of spades. We have the 2 of clubs, we have the 2 of diamonds, and the 2 of hearts. Now, I'm going to go ahead and place the jacks over here. We'll leave the 2s in my hand just for a second, but all I have to do is snap, and one of these 2s is going to turn itself face down. Because look. Yeah, I know, that was face down. That was weird, right? But look, we're going to turn over a second one. And now if I show you, look, there's 2 face down 2s. Now we're going to turn a third one face down. And now we have 3 face down 2s. And let's go ahead and turn that last one over. I don't know if you can tell, but they're all face down now. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, it's funny. A lot of people think that I would just turn them face back up. No, I'm going to do the magical thing now. Let me use the magical, how shall I say, sound effects. I don't know if you know, but I just swapped those 2s with the jacks. Did I use jacks or did I use kings? No, I used jacks. See, look, these are all jacks now. Hey, thanks for that transporter. See, look, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 jacks. Is that weird? That's super weird, right? Now, here's the interesting thing. If I place now all of the jacks here and grab all of the 2s, presumably, right? If I place all of the 2s on top of the jacks, and then you would expect that whether I am confusing you or not, there would be all 2s on the top and all jacks on the bottom, or all the jacks on the bottom, all 2s on the top, right? But look. We're just going to mix them up. Actually, we're going to mix them up like this. I don't know if you can tell, but look. They are completely interwoven. We have a jack with a 2, jack with a 2, jack and 2, jack and 2. But not only that, if we take a look at each pair, each 2 is paired up. So, for example, the 2 of hearts is paired up with the jack of hearts. 2 of clubs is paired up with the jack of clubs. The 2 of spades is paired up with the jack of spades, and the 2 of diamonds is paired up with the jack of diamonds. But wait, there's more. Not only that, but if we take a look, the 2s went through a transformation. They went from blue to being red-backed cards. And that, my friends, is an impulse. That also sounded weird. Man. Maybe today's stream would have been most appropriate for, like, stream 169. That's... Chan's got the face melt and the face. Thank you kindly for the claps. E-Room, the Rusty Panda, welcome in. How's it going? Hi, just got back from being hypnotized on stage in front of people. I'm ready to be mind blown even further. The Rusty Panda, welcome in. How's it going? That sounds awesome. I've not been hypnotized in a hypnotist show, but I think based on how I have done in those, so. All right, let's talk about hypnotism in a second. But guys, if you are not following our friend the Rusty Panda, friend and mod the Rusty Panda, please give our friend and mod the Rusty Panda a follow. The Rusty Panda, singer, songwriter, musician, also does an interview streams, just kind of a unique format interview streams called Wiki Wednesdays. So please give the Rusty Panda a follow. All right, so the Rusty Panda says I was with Colin Mockery. From whose line is it anyway? Dude, that's so cool. That's so awesome. So yeah, I have limited exposure to hypnotism, but I have been super interested in it before. And some people have told me that I have a voice in which I could use, and it would be good for hypnotizing those who are English familiar, I guess. So anyway, I've decided not to learn that much about hypnotism. I don't want to have any sort of weird liabilities. But yeah, so how they do hypnotist shows is really cool. And I'm not entirely sure how this has gone, but see, E-Room has seen many YouTube videos of this. So funny. Yeah, so like if hypnotists are doing a show with like a random crowd of people, they'll ask a bunch of people at the beginning to follow along and do the exercises with them, and you kind of both have to be like willing to cooperate and do well in those exercises. So they might do something like, all right, everybody put your hands together, think about them locking tighter and tighter, and and that they're getting, and those are people who actually have really good results with like those exercises. So they might sometimes do that. They might sometimes be like, Put your hands out directly in front of you and close your eyes. Imagine that you have like one hand tied to a balloon and the other hand, getting heavier and heavier with like cement being filled, in a bucket and stuff like that. And those who have like good results, like with those kinds of exercises, they'll bring on stage. So yeah, the Rusty Panda says, "Yeah, High Prov is amazing. Yeah, the show was excellent. That is awesome. As far as I know, all of the times that I've watched a hypnotism show, it has always been hilarious." So, hands are now locked and it won't come apart. E-room, no, you went to the okay. E-room, E-room. Imagine that your hands are becoming your own again, and that they're slowly unlocking and unlocking, and now you can take your hands apart again. The Rusty Panda says, "I was trying to find my belly button for the first part of the show." That's hilarious. Oh man. All right. Okay. All right. So the next up is not a trick. It's a scandalous shuffle redeem from E-room, which we're going to be shuffling in half large cards and Uno cards. All right. So we're going to grab large cards and we're going to grab Uno cards. And I'm going to pray that I can do it. Not that this would be like an impossible task. It's just going to be tough to shuffle. Here's Uno cards. Here's Big Deck. Here we go. Sorry, didn't mean to take over. No, no, no. Don't worry about it. I actually am a huge fan of hypnotism as like as a medium of entertainment. I have heard of like unscrupulous. Now, here's the thing, right? There, you could use magic for nefarious purposes, and like prior to there being like laws, and actually, this is why if you've ever seen fortune tellers and psychic mediums and stuff, if you see like advertisements for them, they always have like the disclaimer, this is for entertainment only. It's because, that type of thing used to be used, prior to scientific method and science becoming more prominent as a thing. People would use magic to fool people into thinking that, I'm actually contacting your dead relative, or I'm taking your money, so you need to continue to pay me so that you can connect with your dead relative again. That kind of stuff. And so for many centuries, that was kind of what magic was used for. So it kind of got a bad rap back then. But anyway, where was I going? Oh yeah, so hypnotism. So yeah, you can use hypnotism for entertainment. Awesome. But hypnotism for like nefarious purposes, which you sometimes hear really weird stories of, like, people taking advantage of other people. Like, hey, you're going to do all my chores, and this is just the benign versions, right? There are worse than you guys can imagine, rated R versions. Yeah. Zoltar, says E-Room. All right, here we go. We're going to shuffle Uno cards into large cards. Okay, that actually felt like a good riffle. So there's that. I'm going to make sure, okay, so these are going to be turned this way. All right, and now we're going to do that again. So this is group A. Now shuffle the other half of large cards, the other half, and then group B. All right, thank goodness E-Room didn't say, I'll turn those upside down. Crap, I shouldn't have said that. Now I've given E-Room too many ideas for next time. All right, so now here we have that. Now we're going to shuffle these together, which, oh no, I'm going to, all right. Hold on, I gotta shove all these Uno cards to this side. Uh-oh. I should have thought this through a little bit better. I just realized E-Room's trap, guys. E-Room has played his trap card. This is what I have to contend with. All right, here we go. Oh, that did not feel good. Next week, lol. Yep. Okay, there we have it. All right, guys. So here's a large deck with Uno cards, and they're not even in the same vertical. Yeah. So this feels not so good to me, just because like there's like it's chunky. Like that's not the best way I can describe it. The best being the most disgusting. It's chunky. All right. All right, so as I mentioned, as I clean up, let me just talk about random stuff. So I went through some old things. But before we get to some old things, I have to report that I went to Teen Book Fest, not Teen Book Fest, sorry, Children's Book Fest. So there was a children's book festival. Hey, E-Room! I just did your scandalous shuffle, and then E-Room thanked me with a bang. That's that's how this works. All right. But I went to Children's Book Fest, and because my wife was going to bring my kid, and I'm like, oh, should I go? And she's like, yeah, you can come if you want. I'm like, okay. So I went, and there was one table that was, and for all intents and purposes, all festivals and like conventions and stuff, there's maybe in the realm of like hundreds of people here. And my wife was like, wow, this is really crowded. There are a lot of people here. And I'm like, this is nowhere near like what a Gen Con or TwitchCon, like I'm used to seeing like 60,000 people on the roster. I'm like, oh, this is quite leisurely. This is, and it's pretty chill. But anyway, so I saw this table and they were advertising something called Magic Dragon. And obviously the joke, Puff the Magic Dragon, which by the way, obviously is falling out of favor for hopefully obvious reasons. But if not, don't worry about it. But it had the word magic in it, so I'm like, I gotta go over there. And there were three old ladies, and it was not a very crowded table, so I felt like I had to justify why I was coming over there. Um, and they were like, "Oh, are you a magician?" And I'm like, "Well, yes, I am." And so, what did I do? I proceeded to show them a magic trick. Um, and afterwards, I got a selfie with them. And hold on, after I'm done sorting this, I will find my phone and I'll show you guys the selfie. But they ended up giving me a copy of the Magic Dragon magazine. Because I think they were holding them back for people who were actually going to sign up for a subscription. But they were like, "Oh, we enjoyed your trick so much. Here, please take this for your daughter." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." My daughter's 3 years old, but she can't read yet. But uh, it's an interesting magazine. So it's like a local magazine that features artwork and like literary works from like local children. And so, all right, okay, I'm done sorting this. So that's the first thing. Next, let me pull up that selfie. You guys can, let me see here. But let me see. Pictures. Uh, where is it? Oh, okay, right here. All right. Here it is. That's me and the three ladies at the Magic Dragon table, and there's their signed card. They signed the two of, is that, I think it's a two of clubs. Is that clubs or spades? Two of clubs. So anyway, so that was fun. I also proceeded to go into the main room, and one of the authors that was selling her books is actually an indirect neighbor. It's like not one of the immediate houses around us, but like just further out in the neighborhood neighbor. But like I showed her a magic trick, and then one of the kids nearby asked me right after I was done, "Can you show me a magic trick?" And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, "Hell yeah, kid! I can show you a magic trick." Out loud, I said, "Oh yes, I can show you a magic trick." But in my mind, I was like, "Yeah." And so I showed him a trick, and his sibling, and then their dad was also recording. So there's a recording of me doing the ambitious card routine somewhere, probably on a phone somewhere. But anyway, so I thought that was going to be the end of it. I walk away, proceed to do the book convention thing for my kid, and then the kid comes back with, I don't know if it's like his friend or his sister or his cousin or something, but she asked for a magic trick, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'll show you a trick. But he was watching, so I'm like, oh, let me pick another trick. Rarest crazy Asian video. There are a few videos out there of me performing for other people. I think if you're Facebook friends with me, it's probably easier to find. I'm not encouraging anybody to Facebook friend me because I kind of try and live like a mediocre life because I don't want to like brag about anything, but yeah, No, no, no. Sorry, sorry. Don't, guys, don't friend me on Facebook. You know what? Actually, the best way to friend me on Facebook apparently is to become friends with me on Instagram, which I do have my Instagram, because then the Facebook algorithm feeds me these people's names, and it's like, "Are you friends with this person?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess I know them. Do I know them enough to want to friend them on Facebook?" And once that happened, like they were in chat, and I was like, and they were like, "Yeah, you just friend us." I'm like, "Okay, that's fine." But anyway, and then I thought that that was the end of the magic trick. Then, and then like a few minutes later, sh- the the friend, cousin, I don't know who it was, but the girl brings her mom over. It's like, hey, can you show her a magic trick? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I was asked to show more magic ever just because I just showed one random trick that somebody oversaw, and I was like, that's so cool. uh, and not only that, like the adults that were watching, like they gave me some compliments, like, "Oh, I didn't see anything," or "Man, that was so cool." It's like, and I'm like, "Yeah, all right." Validation. Uh, so that was my magical misadventures from this week. And then the rest of the time was rest of the weekend was kind of just like, run of the mill. I cooked a bunch. I did also upload all of my food pictures that I'd been slacking on uploading. So we did that. All right. Let's see here. I see a request for invisible hands. Let's see. Gibson Len says, "I've seen some food pictures." Yeah, if if you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll see all my food pictures. I used to upload to like everything, and now I'm just like, it's basically work. I'm just going to show my food pictures in like one or two places, and that's it. So I'm sorry, but you can see all my food pictures on Instagram because I try and put them all up there. All right. Okay. So we have a trick requested by Charlie's Beats. All right. So we have. I just realized I should hold on. Okay, okay. Now we're fine. It'll be fine. All right. So here we have the four aces. All right. Let me introduce you to them. You probably know who they are. We have the ace of diamonds. We have the ace of clubs. We have the ace of hearts. And we have the ace of spades. Now, what you may not know is that magicians can sometimes transport a card from one hand to the other. And you can kind of see that here because I have three over here and one over here. But look, all I have to do is just shake the cards. As I shake the cards, you'll see one melt from this hand to this hand. Is that strange? That's super strange, right? Um, okay, and now what we have here is we're going to go ahead and do that again. And I have two cards and two cards. But look, if I just shake them, you'll see one card melt from one hand and it's going to appear in the other hand. I don't know if you guys could see that, but is that weird? That's super weird, right? That should not happen. That's a little bizarre. But actually, we've got. So look, I've got Charlie's Beats ace right here, and now I do want to do one more thing with the ace. And the thing is, I normally do like to use the card that the person requested. So we have used the ace of spades, but sometimes you use a different card for this trick. And so instead of the aces, perhaps you would use the four kings instead. And that, my friends, is invisible hands. All right, cool. Thanks for that request, Charlie's Beats. Thank you kindly for the claps. The Rusty Panda, Charlie's Beats. Thank you so much. All right, so we have a request from Charlie's Beats for clear plastic cards. All right, before we get to that, I would like to do a show and tell of things that I've found while digging up things in my past, and I know you guys will love them. I'm sure Charlie will not mind being interrupted for this show and tell. So, we have let me do this. I have found my old, and I have not played this in many years, PSP. There we have a PSP. But, yeah, there was no games in it. However, the next piece, and this is very relevant and related to this, if this game system did not exist, the PSP would certainly not exist. The original Nintendo Game Boy. So I found this digging around. I have no idea if it still works. I will need to put batteries in it, and again, yeah. E-Room says old school. That's right, yeah. And I even still have the UPC serial, I think. So on the back here, I think we can make out basically all those numbers. I think. But you can see how beat up it was. So I had actually broken, and not deliberately, but like I had broken the lid, like plastic part that holds it in. So I put electrical tape, which is surprisingly doing a really good job of holding it together. But yeah, I just have to throw in some batteries, find a game. I do have a stack of games somewhere. I don't know where they are, but and then we'll see if this still works one day. So I'm certain I still have the charger for this too. I just don't know where that is either. So, but yeah, that's what I came across. I thought that was super cool. So I figured, oh man, let me dredge this up and bring back some some memories. Okay, so I have a headache apparently from someone probing my brain, I guess, says the Rusty Panda. I'm gonna sleep. All right, the Rusty Panda. Well, thank you for stopping in. Greatly appreciate it. You take care of that headache and sleep well. And definitely, hopefully, you were not affected by hypnotic thoughts that have been instilled in you for for more than today. But anyway, have a glorious night, and we'll see you around. All right, let's see. So we have a redeem for clear plastic cards, which I kind of quote-unquote cheated Charlie out of last time because, and to be fair, Charlie did request at an appropriate time, and then I just forgot about it for the rest of the stream. And then we made it to the end of stream, and then I said, all right, I was going to do it next time, but then I ended up doing something, but I gave Charlie his points back, so it's okay. I hope it's okay. The Rusty Panda says, good night, haha, yes, good night. E-Room says, what year is the Game Boy? Does it say? Oh, what year is this one? I don't know. Let's see. Well, it's old enough that it still has a headphone jack. This is a model number that was copyrighted by Nintendo in 1989. So yeah, this is a 1989 Nintendo Game Boy. I actually found with it, which is funny because I thought I had an AC adapter for this, but right next to it, I actually found a link cable, which anybody remembers is what you use to connect it to another Game Boy to perform Pokemon trades. I mean, I think there were some other uses, but I primarily used it for Pokemon trades. So, do you have the box? No, I do not have the box. The box is long gone. Actually, I didn't really care about boxes back then because in the year, well, I don't know what year I got it because that was 1989. So I probably got it in 1992, yeah, 1993. So I was 7 or 8. So yeah, I did not care about boxes or collectability or anything back then because I didn't know stuff. So yeah. All right. where were we? Oh yes, clear plastic cards. We're gonna do something with clear plastic cards. I'm not sure what yet, but we'll get there. I think I used the cable to play Tetris and Double Dragon. Oh yeah, that's right. You could play Double Dragon, or some other games allowed you to play co-op, right, at the same time. Yeah, and well, Tetris would be versus. Yeah. Even without box, still worth quite a bit of money. With box, worth thousands. Yeah, yeah. I don't. Yeah. Look, I'm probably not going to be selling my Game Boy. I'm just probably going to keep it because it's probably junky to most people. All right, first things first, here's the clear deck of cards we will be using. So if you guys have not seen the clear deck of plastic cards, here's what some of the cards will look like. Oh yeah, because I did an ace trick last time, so they're all together. Gibson Land says, my Game Boy mysteriously disappeared. E-Room says, I'll give you $20 for it. Lol. Yeah. Well, if it doesn't work, there's a chance I may take you up on it, but I'm hoping it's going to work. If it works, I'm going to keep it. Where was I? Oh, yes. Gibson Lens. I am going to place a thought, and it may be sad to think about, but if it mysteriously disappeared, I don't want to say it, but I think it may have been stolen. My sympathies. I'm sorry. I know that hurts, and the possible reality is, is either you lost it or it got stolen. So, yeah. Anyway, where am I going with this? I don't know. Let's go ahead and figure out a trick to do. Let's see. Let's try and do one with the whole... Oh, wait. Can I do this one with the whole deck? No, I can't do this one with this whole deck. Hold on. Let me take a quick look at the trick list. Because I know a bunch of the tricks that I've done before I can do, but like I want to try doing something new with the clear plastic cards. Oh, can we do this one? That might be doable. Okay, I'm gonna try. We're gonna try this one with clear plastic cards. All right, so here is the deck. Actually, let me also remove. I need to remove the jokers. Well, I guess the jokers could be a mate of each other. But anyway. Alright, first things first. I'm going to remove the jokers. There we go. Next, let's go ahead and give this a shuffle. Actually, I do need to make a prediction. So first order of business, I'm going to make a prediction. And I need to look at the cards for this. So let's go ahead and make a prediction. This might be a really good prediction. Yeah, okay. That's probably just as good as any. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and place my prediction over here. And now we're going to need a card selected. So if anybody is on desktop, feel free to click directly on the screen and we will have a card selected and we will need one selection. And this is also a good time if anybody's been sitting around for a while and you need to hydrate, feel free to hydrate. I just realized selecting a card is really tough with the clear cards, so maybe try and get the top part of the corner or something. Let's see, E-Room says Charlie pick. Okay. But anyway, so yeah, I'm looking through other old stuff, trying to see what other things I can bring onto stream. I think would be fun, super interesting to show. I was trying to figure out a way to involve my PSP in a trick. I don't know how I would do it, so. All right. Are we able to interact? Is there... Hold on. Do heat map, interact. Let me just make sure. Okay, that's working for me. Tried? I clicked the heat map. That's so weird. So the heat map is not working except when I click, but I'm clicking on my OBS so I can see. Huh, that's so weird. Hold on, let me refresh. Properties. Let me refresh browser forcibly. Okay, can somebody else click on the screen for heat map? That's weird. Is something broken? Something might be broken. Oh no, okay, we got 2, we got 3. All right, cool. Sorry guys, I will assume that it is my fault. I had to probably refresh it or something. But okay. Works now. Awesome. Yeah, all right. So we will go with this card as the selection. Okay. So, all right. Here's the selection, and here's my prediction. Now, the significance of this, that worked. Yeah, awesome. You click the card near me. Yes, that's right. Thank you for verification for these. Candace, welcome in, Candace. How are you doing today? All right, so here's my prediction, and here's your card. Now, in order for you to understand the significance of this, we are hopefully going to find the perfect pair, hence the name of the trick, perfect pair. Now, in order for a pair to be matched, each card has a specific mate, which is why I took out the jokers. But if I show you, so here's the Queen of Hearts. The mate of the Queen of Hearts would be the Queen that is red, that is the other suit. So in this case, the mate of the Queen of Hearts is the Queen of Diamonds. Now, I hope you didn't pick the Queen of Diamonds, and I know what I picked, so certainly that won't change things. But so here's your card. Here's my prediction. My prediction was the 5 of clubs. Now, in order for the 5 of clubs to be the correct prediction, you would have had to have the 5 of spades, right? Because it's the other red 5. Sorry, the other black 5. All right, I hope I didn't mess this up. Here we go. 5 of spades. And that, my friends, is a perfect pair. Aren't those 5s so happy looking together? They're so happy looking together. All right. Let's see here. Thank you kindly for the applause and the claps. E-Room, Candace, Charlie's Beats. All right, while I have the clear plastic cards out, I have another trick. Let me see if we can do this one. You know what? Let's go ahead and use the Queen of Hearts and the Queen of Diamonds, because I mentioned we should use them. Okay. Okay. All right. This one is called Mad Monty. All right. Okay. All right, I'm going to see how this works with clear cards. I actually don't think I've done this one with clear cards, maybe ever, so. All right, here we go. Clear plastic cards. So, I've got a couple of cards on my hand. They are the Queen of Hearts and the Queen of Diamonds. All right, now if I turn the packet 1, 2 times, you would still expect that the Queen of Hearts is still on the top and the Queen of Diamonds is on the bottom, right? Yep. So, but let's go ahead and turn this 1, 2, and 3. Now, which one is on the top? I think a lot of people would say the Queen of Hearts is on the top, right, and not the Queen of Diamonds, right? But look, if I just show you now, the perfect pair in our last trick were the black 5s and not the red queens, and so, as per this, the red queens wanted to become the black 5s. In this case, they are the 5 of spades and the 5 of clubs. Is that weird? That's super weird, right? That shouldn't happen. That's a little bit weird. E-Room, thank you for the wow, 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 wow. I feel like I have to wow, 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 wow. Thank you kindly for the claps and the emotes. E-Room. All right, let's see. What else have I not done yet? All right, let's see here. red queen, and what should be our money card? This one. Okay, let's do this one. Okay. I have no idea if this will work either. Alright, so I have 3 cards. Oh, actually, while let me, we're just experimenting now with clear plastic cards. Alright, here we have 3 clear plastic cards. And you just have to remember that we have a red queen, and a money card, the ace of spades. The ace of spades is going to be the money card, okay? Now, you should follow the ace of spades. So if I go ahead and I place the ace of spades here on the bottom, where do you think the ace of spades is? Now, some people would say on the bottom, but no, I would show you, and that's actually a red queen. And now here, some people are probably wondering, hey, where's the, well, the ace of spades must still be on the top. And to that I would say, no, 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 the top card is a red queen. And then some people are probably thinking, oh, well, where's the ace of spades must be in the middle now. And no, I would say, no, no, there's a red queen in there too. So now some people are like, whoa, 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 you're probably cheating because there's just so many red queens. And to that I would say, no, 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 you could still win. You just have to tell me where the ace of spades is, because here it is on the bottom, right? And so now they say, oh, okay, well, if the ace of spades is there on the bottom, certainly there must be a red queen on the top. And to that I would say, no, 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 the ace of spades, there's an ace of spades on the top too. And some people would now say, oh, well, there's still an ace of spades somewhere, but that must mean that the middle must be a red queen. And to that I would say, well, the middle card is actually the ace of spades. Now, some people believe that I'm using more than 3 cards, but if you were here, you could come and you could feel yourself. There's 1, 2, 3 cards. And so this is where we play the game, the final countdown game. I would show you that we have a red queen. I would show you that we have the ace of spades. And now I would ask you, what card is this? And, if this was like a betting game, we would say double or nothing. Which card is this? I think a lot of people might say, well, it's a red queen, right? That's the queen of hearts. Isn't that what was there? Well, is it? You guys think about that for a second. Let me catch up with the queue here. All right, cool. And then I see E-Room, you've requested a cube in the interim. Let me know if you want to see the baby cube or the regular sized cube. Queen of Hearts says E-Room. SROM says Jack. SROM Music, welcome in. How's it going? And guys, if you're not following our friend SROM Music, please give SROM Music a follow. So anyway, this final card right here is actually a Joker. And that, my friends, is another trick with clear plastic cards. Thank you so much, Charlie's Beats, for the redeem for clear plastic cards. Let me see cube sizes. Oh, yes. Damn it, I was going to say Joker, says E-Room. Oh, you could have had it. All right, here's the 2 cube sizes. Guys, E-Room has requested solving a Rubik's Cube, so I will go ahead and do that next. Anyway, guys, if you're not following our friend SROM Music, please give SROM Music a follow. SROM, I was lurking last night in your stream, actually. I think I was in your stream when time travel occurred in my time zones, but I was there. I think I joined slightly before the break, and then you had everybody vote in the poll whether you were going to end or break, and then you broke, and then you came back. But guys, you're not following our friend SROM Music. Please give SROM Music a follow. SROM was playing very groovy ambient music last night, and so yeah, it was a chill time. Was great SROM stream last night. It was very chill. So all All right, large size cube says says E-room. Okay, cool. So all right. I'll scramble this and let's talk about some stuff. But yeah, how was everybody's time traveling last night? I know some of us talked about our time travel stories. I like calling it time traveling because it makes it palatable for the spring. Because at least this time in the fall we gain an hour, so it's like all right, it's not as bad. Here's my proposal. I propose that every 2 weeks the United States gains an hour. And then across an entire year, that'll basically be like 26 hours. So we can skip it twice. And then we eliminate a day from the calendar. That way, it always feels good because we're only gaining an hour. And then, after the whole year, we will be back to, line up with the rest of the calendar. I'm calling it that from now on. Yeah, Candace, if you have been calling it daylight saving, stopping, and ending, that just seems so, I don't know, bureaucratic. You should just call it time travel, because it's just way more fun. But, I don't tell you how to live your life. You call it what you want, but there's my argument. Esrom says, "Oh, thanks for the lurk, friend. I've been lurking as well, but couldn't resist the chance to yell a random card." Yo, you are welcome to yell a random card anytime here. Okay, stop turning cube. All right, cool. There we go. I was gonna eventually stop, but I was actually catching up with chat. So Ebros for life, says SROM to E-room. All right, cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and solve this cube. Hopefully I don't mess it up. I actually haven't solved the cube for maybe a few weeks now. So, all right, first things first, we're gonna try and do the top cross basic method. So you get the top cross. All right, so the top cross is mostly done. I almost messed it up. No, I did mess it up. Hold on. So let's see. Where's green? Green is here. Okay. That's there. Okay, I just have to swap this one. This is not going to be a fast solve, everybody. If you were expecting a fast solve, I'm sorry. This is not. Today is not the day. I was telling everybody I was not feeling into it. I was feeling a little bit out of it today, which is weird because I got an extra hour of sleep, or quote unquote extra hour of sleep. Somebody called me in chat and said, "Yo, you probably didn't use it for sleep," and they're right. I think it was Chris M. Yee. Chris M. Yee called me out on it. But I shouldn't be tired. All right. So top layer is done. All right, second layer. Let's see. Candace says, "Indeed, way more fun." Candace says, "Plus, it will give me a good opportunity to use Doctor Who quotes." Yo, if you're a fan of time travel, you should be finding every excuse to use Doctor Who quotes, anything related to the Time Lord, anything related to time travel. You should do it. Practice up. Next time, I'm going to redeem Solve Cube with eyes closed and or one-handed. Yo, I cannot do Solve Cube with eyes closed or one-handed. I'm not that good. I am unable. I do not remember the state of a cube after like 2 turns. Like that just seems like very weird that I cannot do that. Okay, let's see here. I need to do, let's see. So I'm doing the second layer now. So we're trying to get all those lined up. All right, second layer is done. Okay, third layer. All right, we're gonna do some algorithms to try and get the fish pattern. That's not it. Okay, that's closer. And now when I do this, I should get the fish pattern now. Okay, so now I have the fish pattern. It's this one. Pew pew pew. I call it the fish pattern because it's the fish. So now I might have to do this algorithm up to 3 times. That was 1, 2. All right, I tell that this is that. So these all match, and now I just have to find. I'm going to swap these 2 corners so they will be correct. And then we have to do just 1 rotation of some edge pieces here. And we're solved. Okay, cool. There we go. So I was actually watching a mini documentary on YouTube about solving cubes, and not only a 3x3x3, but if you conceptualize that there's a fourth spatial dimension, it's a 3x3x3x3. And they came up with a way to build a physical three-dimensional representation of it that would basically be equivalent to a four-dimensional 3x3x3x3. But it took the community of hypercubers. They call them hypercubers because a fourth dimensional spatial cube is a hypercube, whereas like just a regular three-dimensional cube is just called a cube. But they call them hypercubers, and they had to do R&D. So what they did was they started with a 3x3x3x2 because that would be easier than jumping right to the 3x3x3x3. Or sorry, they started with a, I think they started with like a 2x2x2x2, and then they worked it up to 3x2x2x2, then 3x3x2x2, then 3x3x3x2, and then finally, and I think it was very recent, like in the last couple of years, they finally got the 3x3x3x3 three-dimensional physical equivalent of a four-dimensional hypercube. And I'm like, holy crap, that's crazy. The work that had to go into it. But yeah, it's kind of insane. Candace says, that's really interesting. Was this a recent documentary? I think the documentary, it's like a short, by short, I mean, I think it was like 40 minutes or something. I found it on YouTube. Hold on, let me see if I can find it really quick. If not, I'll make a note and then we'll get it out to you. But super interesting. Durkee Blaine says, finally made it in. Work's been hectic. Hello all. Hello, Durkee Blaine. Welcome in. How's it going? Hypercube 3x3x3x3. All right, let me see if physical. Let me see here. Understanding the hypercube. Here it is. The quest to build. Oh no, it's 26 minutes. Okay. Copy link address. Okay, so if anybody's interested in that documentary, I think it's just a 26. I don't know if it was a formal documentary. It just felt like somebody making, but it was very good as far as like documenting the progress of it. I don't want this timestamp here. Okay, there we go. Hold on, I'm just gonna click it and make sure that it loads and I didn't take off too much. Okay, all right, yeah. That's the one. So it's called the quest to build a 4D Rubik's Cube.
The Rubik's Cube was invented.
Oh, sorry. That audio probably came from it. Thank you. Yeah, if anybody's interested, check that out. There it is. Interesting. Yeah. So that's something I came across. I was like, oh my god, that's insane. So it's amazing, and yeah, you can actually digitally do it because they have things that they have like software where that can simulate it, and so they've had that already like built like for years before building the physical, because the physical representation has limitations, and so they actually couldn't build a real cube like it doesn't like just roll, like it'll actually come apart via magnets, and you have to learn like the valid moves to do because it's so like the valid maneuvers are so complicated that they couldn't restrict the physical version of the 3x3x3x3 representation four-dimensional cube in 3D space. So in order to get all of the valid rotations, you actually have to be able to take it apart. And they have magnets in it, so take it apart and then they put it back together. And so it was super interesting in how they did it. But if anybody who's interested in like logic or math or like engineering, like it goes through like some ridiculously wild stuff. I enjoyed it all 26 minutes, and I didn't think I would really enjoy it all, but it was all good. So, but yeah, so that is a discussion of hypercubing. You know, the people who solve regular cubes, they're just called cubers. People who solve hypercubes, hypercubers. Very easy name. All right. Okay. So I recently got another deck of cards. I didn't know I was going to get this deck of cards, but my mother-in-law was cleaning out her house, and so for some reason everybody's cleaning up their houses around here. Um, and she gave me and my wife their copies of Seen It. So they have, and if anybody doesn't know, Seen It is a board game, and it's a board game that has like a DVD, and it basically is trivia questions for movies. And so we got Seen It, and then Seen It James Bond 007 edition, which I think came out around like um, the time in which Daniel Craig was James Bond, but the double O 007 version of Seen It came with a deck of cards. Now, it was a little bit beat up because it was obviously a used game that they owned for years, but it looked like nobody really used the cards as the cards. So I would like to show you guys that deck of cards right now. So here we have the double O 007 deck of cards that came with the board game. Candace says, "Oh, there's a specific Bond version. Please tell me you made it to Austin Powers." Oh, yeah, there is a specific James Bond version of Seen It. I am apparently in possession of it now because I took this deck of cards out from it. Um, but yeah, please tell me you made it Austin Powers. I did not make it Austin Powers, but if you are interested in Austin Powers, I have some Austin Powers cards from a game. I don't know. I don't know exactly where it is now, so I can't just go over there. But here we have the backs of the 007 cards. The good news is that they are bi-directional, so not one-directional. And then on most of the cards is a character or a scene, and so and it does span, I believe. And here's one of the Jokers, so that's what a Joker looks like. And there's Halle Berry. A lot of people remember that specific. But yeah, so if anybody's a fan of 007 or James Bond, this whole deck has scenes of 007. They are also pretty good cards, I'd say, as far as like what I would expect coming from a board game DVD, like DVD board game. So they're not as like good as like good premium cards, but like better. These are better than I thought like they would be. And then it also came with an extra card, which was this, and it tells you all of the movies that have the copyrights for all of the images in the deck. So yeah, that is so let's go ahead and do a trick with these. Let's see what trick do we want to do. I don't even know how you would be able to tell anything because the only thing that you would be the good thing is that they have the index in all four corners, so that's good. So at least no matter which way I fan it, you'll be able to tell what it is. But yeah, they each all have like a unique picture, and so. All right, let's go. You know what? Let's go ahead and use. Let's see here. Let's find the two Jokers first. So let's see here. I know that there's another one. Oh, maybe it's a different color. Is it a different? So wait, this one's a blue one. I don't know if the other one's a blue one, or if it's like a red one. Oh no, it is a blue one. Oh, but the artwork's different, so. Okay. Alright, so here we have our two 007 Jokers. We have the deck here. Let's see. Well, 007, considered the best in their class as far as like spy work, right? And so, which card is Odd Job? Okay, we'll keep that question in mind. We'll have to figure that out in a second. Okay, so here, these guys are really good at getting their target, right? And so they're going to try and get their target very carefully. So here's what they're going to do. They're going to go ahead and they're going to reach into the deck. And as you can see, there is a target in my hand. You just can't see it. But they kept the target covert. And so look, they're going to find it right now. And their first target they got was the Ace of Spades, which is Dr. No. Dr. No. Okay. All right. So now the agents, they're going to be sent back into another movie because, James Bond movies made a lot of money because there's just a lot of movies. And look, they're going to go ahead and try and snag another one right there. And if you can tell, that is also an ace. In this case, it is On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Oh, okay, so these are movie titles. So this is the Doctor No movie, and then this is On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Let's see here. All right, some people believe that we have to have the agents face up, but they can disguise themselves. So let's go ahead and disguise them, and they can also find another, in this case, ace. If we take a look, this is the ace of hearts, and that is a license to kill. License to kill. There you go. They're focused, finally. So, yeah. Here we go. And then for the last one, they're going to find... Which one is this? This will be the ace of clubs, Moonraker. That was the worst one to end with. I'm sorry. And that, my friends, is a trick with the James Bond cards. All right, so let's see if we can find odd job on any of these here. It'll just be quicker for me to search versus looking on upside down or looking at my screen. I don't know if I have not seen odd job. I do not see a picture of odd job, so maybe not in there. What's the live and let die card look like? Great question. Let's see here. Oh no, that might not be an available movie. Let me see. No, okay, so these cards are limited to Moonraker, For Your Eyes Only, Octopussy, A View to Kill, The Living Daylights, License to Kill, Goldeneye, Tomorrow Never Dies, The World Is Not Enough, and Die Another Day. So all of these are from only those films. So my apologies. I don't think there will be a live and let die card because, yeah, I'm seeing a bunch of repeat movies here, and they are all these movies. Wait. Unless we're missing a card. Some of these had Dr. No on them, and Dr. No is not on this list. That's so weird. Hold on. Live and let die. Give me a second. I now have to look. Live and let die. The Living Daylights. Nope. Live and let die. Here's a live and let die card. Wow. Okay. The Seven of Diamonds, Live and Let Die, and come on, focus. Come on. All right. Well, I think you can make out the text, Live and Let Die, and that is Italian agent Madeline Smith, 1973. And I don't see another. Let me see here. Hold on, I'm almost through the whole deck. Oh, here's another Live and Let Die. Alright, so there are a couple. Oh, and here's the third one. So these are the 3 Live and Let Die cards. Now it focuses. When I have 3 cards. It's like, I want to see all of them. Okay. Alright, cool. And that was the James Bond 007 deck that came with Seen It, the board game. Nice. They all have Jeffrey Holder, the voodoo priest. Was that the movie with the ramp across the... So, full disclosure, I have not seen all or even many of the James Bond. There's actually too many. There's like, I don't know, there are over 30? Are they up to 40 James Bond films? I don't even know. There's so many. But, I've seen a handful. I've probably seen like, let me see. I've probably seen like seven or eight. So not that many. I wouldn't even call myself a James Bond fan, really. I haven't watched the last few. Yeah. I mean, they were pumping them out for a while. So let me see. How many James Bond films are there? Let's find out. Internet says. Oh, there's not a quick number. Internet says. Mostly familiar with the old classics. Okay. All right. Okay. It doesn't look like there's that many. See, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 25. All right, so that's not bad. All right, cool. Okay, so I am thinking about ending stream. So let's do a last call. If anybody would like to see any more magic, now is a good time. I know we did spend a little bit of time talking about James Bond because of the cards, but yeah. So let me see. Oh, let me see here. I do also want to perform the one trick I've been trying to do every stream. Hang on. We'll do that one, and then I see a request, so let me kind of get ready for that one as well. But then we'll figure out who to raid after that. Okay, alright. First things first. Okay. We're going to do the coin matrix first, and then we'll do matching the cards for Charlie. All right, so here we go. We need 4 coins and 4 cards, and we're going to be using. Hey, how's it going, Hawk6 Phoenix? Welcome in. How's it going? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover each coin with a card, and we will then try and do some sort of teleporting shenanigans with said coins. So here we go. I'm going to move this one from here to here. Watch, it happens very quick, like this. And from here to there, watch. And then finally the last one. And that, my friends, is a coin matrix. Candace says, gotta head to bed. Have to be up for work in 5 hours. Have a great night, everyone. Candace, thank you so much for stopping by. Have a glorious night. Take care. Sleep well. We'll talk to you later. Yeah, guys, if you're not following our friend Hawk6 Phoenix, please give Hawk6 Phoenix a follow. Pianist has also been known to do some programming streams as well. So, and then also, if you're not following our friend Candace, please give Candace a follow. Last I caught Candace playing games, but I haven't been able to find to visit a stream lately. So, all right, Astra, awesome. And then also, if there's anybody else that wants a shout out that we haven't shouted out, feel free to let me know. Sometimes either I forget or I'm unaware of who's a streamer. So, oh yeah, that's right. Durkee Blaine, guys, if you're not following our friend Durkee Blaine, please give Durkee Blaine a follow. Durkee Blaine, another magician. I believe Durkee Blaine wants to do magic on stream, and I've heard that there's been a couple of tricks. But Durkee Blaine plays video games, so Please give our friend Turkey Blaine a follow. Okay. All right. Cool. I'm probably a little out of it because it's probably later than my body thinks it is indicating to me it is later than it actually is. So, all right, let's see here. I almost kind of forgot how to do this trick. So it's probably good that Charlie has requested this for me. Okay. Boom. Okay, no. I need to do this and this. Okay. Oh, I almost set this up wrong. Alright, guys. Okay. Alright, here we go. Now we're good. Okay. SROM Music says, just dropped Candace a follow. Seems like they've been doing some IRL streams in New York City. That's cool. Awesome. I was not aware. So, thanks for the intel, SROM, and thanks for following our friend Candace. All right, so here we go. We're gonna do this, then I'll close out the stream, and then we will do one finale trick, and then we'll find somebody to raid. All right, here we go. So first things first, we can just go ahead and let's give this a quick mix here. Okay. First things first, for this trick, I'm going to make a prediction. So let's go ahead and go through the deck, and when I feel like it is the correct, let's go ahead and make this card our prediction. Okay, cool. So now, I'm going to find 3 different cards. 1, 2, 3. I'll place them out, and hopefully the prediction will be good by the end. Okay, so here, if I just go through the deck and I find a card, let's pretend I find this card. So this card is the Ace of Hearts. Great. So now if I go ahead and I leave the Ace of Hearts over there, all right, let's go ahead and just cut a few times, and then we'll find the next one. So this could be a heart, this could be an ace. So let's see what this is. This is the Ace of Clubs. Okay. So now, if this is the Ace of Hearts and Ace of Clubs, we should probably hope that this is an ace as well. And so let's go ahead and just do a bunch of cuts here, a lot of little cuts, and then we will hopefully find another ace. So Ace of Diamonds. So if this is the Ace of Diamonds, this is the Ace of Clubs, this is the Ace of Hearts. Therefore, my prediction must be the Ace of Spades, right? But sometimes when I do this trick and I ask, hey, what should this card be? I hear 8 of Spades. And so in this case, I actually, you know what? It is the 8 of Spades. And so I think to myself, wait. In order for the prediction to be correct, it has to match these 3 cards. And we saw that this was the Ace of Hearts, the Ace of Clubs, and the Ace of Diamonds. But I'm a magician. So hold on. If I just go ahead and I use the 8 of Spades and I just touch each one of these cards like this, 1, 2, and 3, why shouldn't I be able to change the aces to be the 8 of Hearts, the 8 of Clubs, and the 8 of Diamonds? And that, my friends, is matching the cards. All right. Thank you kindly for the claps and the applause. E-Room, Alstro Art, Gibson Lens, Charlie's Beats. All right, so let's see. Let's go ahead and close. We'll clear. All right, and then I think what I want to do tonight is as a finale, Picasso Aces. So let's do that. All right, cool. All right. So first things first, thank you to everybody who came out to hang out with me tonight. I know the time travel is rough, so for those of you who did time travel, thanks for coming and hanging out. If it wasn't for you guys, this wouldn't be as much fun for me. So thank you to everybody who interacted with the stream, whether you chatted, requested a trick, clicked on the heat map. Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who supported today. We got a bunch of resubs. Thank you, Charlie's Beats, Chan the Magic Man, and Andrew War for the resubs. And the hype train at the beginning that I was completely unprepared for. So unprepared, I had a 33% success rate of tricks during the hype train. So that was how rough it was. Anyway, once I put the cheating gloves on my fingers, it ended up being okay. But thank you to all the lurkers out there, because magic is one of the rare art forms in which if I am practicing magic, I'm not experiencing any magic. The magic has to happen in your mind. So, guys, thank you to... We saw all of our mods today. Thank you to all of our mods. And if you want to give some mod love to our mods, if you're not following them already, they are also all streamers. Our friends and mods, our first one, the Rusty Panda. Please give the Rusty Panda a follow. If you're not following our friend and mod, Chan the Magic Man, please give Chan the Magic Man a follow. And if you're not following our friend and mod, Gibson Lens, please give Gibson Lens a follow. So I think a lot of us are probably following all of them, but just letting everybody know. So, but yeah, the Rusty Panda, musician, and also has interview streams on Wednesdays called Wiki Wednesdays. Chan the Magic Man, another Twitch magician, has a regular magic schedule for Magic Mondays. Please give Chan a follow and you catch him tomorrow. And Gibson Lens, a musician, plays piano, will sight read a bunch of songbooks that he reads, that he owns, and plays a bunch of different kinds of music, VGM, popular music, also has composed a bunch of his own originals. So please give all of our mods some mod love and some follows. All right, cool. So that is that. Guys, everything that you saw on stream today is sleight of hand magic. And the thing is, if you believe that it was sorcery or black magic or deals with the devil, even if it was, I would claim this anyway. So there we have it. Everything is achievable with sleight of hand. Also, if anybody wants to see any more of me and I am not around, please check out my YouTube. I have 290 magic performances on my YouTube. So please check them out if you just want to watch a few. And if you want to help me out, just you can leave it playing in a tab. That'd be great. If you want to see any of the VODs that fall off of retention, I keep all my VODs in this playlist. So feel free to go back in time. Because how appropriate. We just traveled back in time yesterday. So, well, actually, yeah. Well, for me, it was technically yesterday. For some of you, it might have still been like early today. But anyway. All right. And then, let's see here. Is that everything? I think that's everything, right? Okay. So, the only other thing to do is to... Oh, yeah. And, guys, if I do not successfully perform this final trick... I don't like to end on a trick that I mess up, so we'll do another finale trick, because I don't... Yep. Alstro Art says, are you an East Coaster? The answer is yes, I am on the U.S. East Coast. I am in what they call upstate New York, but actually it's probably more accurate to say Western New York, because when you say upstate, they just think it's just like, a little bit up. And it's not New York City. It's funny because there's this stereotype, and I'm pretty sure it's true, when anybody ever says, oh, I'm from New York, the state, but they think that New York City is the entire state. And like New York City is like a very tiny little part of New York State. And then there's the rest of New York State. So for some reason, I thought you were from LA. Oh, yeah, no. I've never lived in LA. Actually, I don't even know if I've visited LA. I've never visited LA either. Astron Music says WNY716, baby. Whoa, that is. I've heard of that station. I've never. I don't really listen to the radio, and even pre streaming like audio entertainment days, all I did on the radio was just I would scan in my car, and that's the only time I'd ever listen to the radio. But anyway, all right. So finale trick. Here we go. Picasso aces. All right. So first things first. I just want to show you that I have a blue back deck of cards here, and I have aces here. Now the thing is, these aces don't come from this deck. They have different colored backs. So here we have the ace of hearts, that's red. We have the ace of clubs, that's red. The ace of diamonds, that's red. And the ace of spades, that's red. Okay, so with these four aces, what I want to do is what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and lay them out. And we'll lay them out like this. So you can see these aces. And we're going to leave the ace of spades up here. And we're going to try and collect all of these aces together by the end of the trick. But hopefully in a magical way, because if I just took them right now and I just put them all in one pile, that's not going to be that magical, right? So first things first, I'm going to cover each one with 3 cards. So let's go ahead and place 3 cards onto each one of these piles. And you'll be able to tell which one is which because all the aces are red backed, so it should be pretty easy to point them out. Okay, so first things first, you can see in this pile we have the red ace right here, and you'll be able to see it until the last second when I've swapped it with a card from this pile. Because now if I show you all 4 cards in this pile are all blue backed and none of them are aces. And now if we take a look, before we just had the one red backed ace, right? But now I think if you take a look, you'll see a blue, a red, and a blue. Yeah. So now there's 2 and 2. Okay, so now let's go over here. Once again, you'll be able to see the ace right there. But you'll be able to see it just until the last second before I swap it. I don't know if you saw, but I've just swapped it between this pile and that pile. Because look, if I show you, all of these cards are now blue backed. And there's no aces. And actually, that would mean now that there should be 3 red backed cards here in this pile, right? Because look. Is that weird? That's super weird, right? That's strange. That shouldn't happen. Is that weird? Okay. And now, some people believe that there's some shenanigans afoot. And to that I would say, you're watching a sleight of hand card magic stream. So yeah, look, red backed card, you see the ace. You'll know that the ace is still there because from the back, you can still see that it's red there. And from the front, you'll be able to see that the ace of diamonds is still there. But look, all we have to do is do our swap. Look, I've just swapped it for that final blue card that's in here. Because now if I show you, look, all of these cards, blue backed. And if I show you all the faces, none of them are aces. Is that weird? That's super weird, right? Because now if we look in this pile, there are 4 red backed cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they are all the ace of diamonds, the ace of spades, the ace of clubs, and the ace of hearts. And that, my friends, I will call a successful finale for tonight. All right, I'm about to finish my tea too. So it was like perfect timing. I don't like it when I have like too much tea or too little tea left over at the end of the stream. It's like, oh no, I should have either gone longer or I should have finished sooner. And it's like, no, I just finished my tea. Perfect timing. Thank you, Kenley, for the claps. Alstro Art, E-Room, Charlie's Beats. All right, cool. So, let's see here. All right, so that's all set, and I think let's go find somebody to raid. So for those of you who have not been here before or haven't been here in a long time, or for the end of stream, I normally like to raid out to a musician Twitch friend, because oftentimes, you know, it's like doing magic is like a performance art, so music fits in. And there's very few magicians I could raid into. So let's see who we can raid into. Although the last couple of times we've raided it, we just raided Twitch friends that were like gamers, I think. So, but yeah, let me see who's on. And you know, oh, let me see. When was the last time we raided this person? I have to consult my spreadsheet. Hold on. Is there a hotline we can use to report the people who think they are witnessing real magic? I don't know. I'm not sure if there is a hotline. No. I think oftentimes, even if you were to call some reputable magic, I think what would happen is if it looks like real magic and you tell some magicians this is what happened, they will just kind of think about, well, how can you do that and make it look real? And then you will just get a bunch of explanations as to potentially how to do it in a performance. So I think that's probably what you would get. But let me see here. Hold on. So I have a potential raid target. Let's see. So we have raided this person before, but how often? $2023 in October. So it's basically been like a year. So you should probably raid them. All right, let me just make sure that they're still going on and that they're not ending. And let me see. Let's make sure. Okay. All right, they've been on for 3 hours. So, meant to so we can get them the doctors they need. Oh, I do not know. All right. Okay, guys. I don't know how long he's gonna go, but we're gonna raid over to Meow too, pianist friend of ours. So, he's been going for 3 hours, aka Vincent. But if you guys want to come along for the raid, please copy a raid call. And we're just gonna raid before he raids out, if he's gonna raid. So let me also copy a raid call. But anyway, thank you to everybody who decided to come out and hang out with us, and hopefully everybody had fun. Everybody take care of yourselves. Remember to hydrate, stretch, and sleep well. Hopefully everybody who experienced time travel last night got to experience using your extra hour. And those of you who did not, well, that's okay. It's just another day for you guys. But you guys don't have to suffer the thing that we have to suffer in the spring, which is losing an hour, which is like the worst thing. But anyway, everybody take care, and we'll see you around. All right. Bye. Thank you for the applause, Esrom. Good night, says Alstro.